Hey guys, it's Foster here. Just a quick note before we get started today. For the last couple of weeks, we have been talking about different states in the United States, and we talked about a lot of interesting stuff. We talked about some fascinating cities, some of my favorite states in the US, and I thought it just made a lot of sense to replay some of our favorite episodes talking about the different places that we mentioned in this recent series. So this week, you are going to hear about some of our favorite places in the US, and I hope it provides you a little bit of comfort and a little bit of a chance to escape in this very difficult moment when we cannot travel. So that's it. Enjoy the show, guys. And hopefully we will actually see each other traveling again soon.
Oi, pessoal, tudo bem? Bom, muito obrigada por estar aqui escutando de novo a gente no Inglês no Rádio. E eu vou passar aquele recadinho maravilhoso, mas hoje é diferente. Hoje eu quero falar com vocês sobre o Cambly Kids. O Cambly Kids existe e tá aí para qualquer criança de até 15 anos de idade poder fazer aulas de inglês online com professor nativo da língua inglesa. É muito bacana porque funciona que nem o Cambly Adultos, mas para crianças com toda a segurança do mundo. E para você ter uma aula experimental de 30 minutos lá no Cambly Kids por apenas R$1, é só colocar o código inglês NC Kids. Então o código é inglês NC Kids. É muito fácil, só lembrar de inglês no Cru Kids, inglês NC Kids. É só fazer o login lá no Cambly e em minutos grátis inserir esse código que eu acabei de falar. Também, se você quiser, é só ir na nossa show notes, que é aqui na descrição do episódio, e clicar no link que eu vou deixar lá para vocês, tá? Qualquer dúvida que vocês tenham, qualquer coisa, é só entrar em contato direto com o Cambly, que eles vão poder te falar direitinho como é que funciona o Cambly Kids, tirar todas as dúvidas em relação à segurança, e também, qualquer coisa, é só falar com a gente, tá bom? Now, on with the show!
Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando o Inglês no Rádio. I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Good morning, Alexia. How are you doing? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, another week just started.
Yes, another week started, and I wanted to start this week on the right foot. Do you know that expression?
I do.
Yeah.
Com o pé direito.
Yeah. You guys say the same thing, right?
We do.
Okay. So on Friday, we talked about how Brazilians are weird. And I imagine that maybe some people were not so happy that we were saying Brazilians are weird, even though we were saying it completely in a loving way.
Yes.
But today, this is going to be part one of a series of maybe 3 or 4 episodes about Americans being weird. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Alexia. So Americans are weird in a lot of ways, but let's just talk about some of the things that we've noticed, some common things that most Brazilians, if you're paying attention, you will notice.
Okay, I have the first one. I think that I already talk about it here on this podcast, but I think that it's really, really, really weird to see flags everywhere. Not any flag. United States of America flag.
Yeah. Normally we just say the American flag.
The American flag.
Yeah. And one pronunciation tip, just real quick. The word flag, this is the sound. So this sound technically does not exist in Portuguese. So you're not saying tipo, pois é, but you're saying
Flag.
So it's the same sound as like hat, cat, magic, disaster. It's a very open and front sound.
Yeah.
Can you say it one time?
Flag.
Perfect.
So there are flags everywhere. Malls, houses, apartments, boats, dogs, whatever. There are flags everywhere.
Yeah. So, for example, the neighborhood where my parents live, I think there are 8 houses and 7 of them have American flags.
Besides yours.
Yeah. But we still have American flags. There's one in our garage
Yeah.
for some reason. And I agree. I think this is weird.
It's weird. Well, it's a mix of a huge patriotism.
Yeah. You could say it's patriotic or it's a demonstration of patriotism.
Yes, it's a huge.
I would just say it's patriotic.
It's patriotic. It's very patriotic.
Yeah.
Which I think that Brazilians are in need of that sometimes. But
Yeah.
and the other side is like, why do you have to keep showing that?
Yeah. It's a little excessive. Like, if you have a flag outside your house, you can have a flag of anything. If you're in the U.S. and you have a house in the U.S., most people know that you are probably an American or you're living in the U.S. You don't need to prove it. Or
Now imagine my house. I would put Brazilian flag, Portuguese flag, and American flag. That's it. So here lives someone that is Brazilian and Portuguese, and another one American.
Yeah, can you imagine in Rio if outside of every apartment, everyone just had Ordem Progresso.
Yeah, we do have that during the World Cup. We used to have that during the World Cup, but
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to talk about that this maybe one is not weird, but it's definitely a very personal one for Alexia. And this is pharmacies in the US.
I love it.
So when I'm talking about pharmacies, these are like mini shopping malls.
It's amazing.
So some of the most famous ones are CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. There are tons of them. Dwayne Reed, if you're in New York. But tell me about these. Why do you love them so much? Because for me, it's just like a store that if I need something.
Yeah, that's it. It's a store that you can find anything that you need. Like there are CVS's and Walgreens everywhere in every city. So you don't need to go to supermarket to buy Coke, You can go to CVS or Walgreens and buy it. And there are a lot of makeups, everything that you need, a lot of new stuff, all the kind of shampoos. I love it. I love it. And it's so, so much more cheaper here.
More cheaper.
Yeah. It's so much more cheap here.
Yeah. Or I would just say it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, it's so much cheaper.
Yeah. A little tip, I would not recommend buying groceries at pharmacies.
No, just if you need it.
Because it is a little more expensive. They do have food, but in general, for me, pharmacies are just to buy medicine or if I need something specific like cleaning the house or in Alexia's case, makeup.
Shampoo.
Yeah, something like that. Otherwise, I would probably go to one of the enormous grocery stores that we have.
Yes, which I love it as well.
Yeah, we can do an entire episode on grocery stores. That is a whole different animal.
Yeah, but the cool thing about CVS, which I love, I prefer CVS than Walgreens, is that it's easy. It's easy to get along there, You can understand everything that's happening.
Yeah, they're really good with signs. It's pretty manageable. If you go into like a Walmart or one of the normal huge grocery stores, you can spend a few hours looking for stuff.
It's very overwhelming as well.
Yeah. Okay. The next one, Alexia, I know this is one that you have strong opinions about as well. Is Americans love to crank up the air conditioning. So first, crank up. A great phrasal verb. Crank up just means to really turn something to the highest level. Yeah.
Can you crank up the car?
Yeah.
You can crank up everything.
Yeah. It just means turning on and full blast.
Okay.
Yeah. So Americans love AC. You can always, instead of saying air conditioning, say AC.
Well, Brazilians, they do love AC as well, but we can't let the AC on,
Leave the AC on.
leave the AC on 24 hours per day, which Americans can.
Yeah.
So I think that's why you love it so much.
I think part of it is obviously an economic, financial issue,
Yeah.
but also part of it, like even sometimes when it's not that hot outside, I walk into my house or my parents' house or my brother's house, and the air conditioning is just on full blast, like it's freezing in there.
But honestly, I would like to do that as well.
But
If
you
I
have
had
to admit, Alexia, a lot of times when we come into our house, you always say, it's freezing in here.
Yes, I
Turn
want to
off.
take a shower and feel good after it. I don't want to be freezing after the shower.
Yeah. I think most Americans always want to be freezing.
Yeah. No, it's not like that. But I do love AC.
Yeah. And so do we. Okay. Last but not least, Alexia, most Americans, obviously this is a regional thing, but I think in general, most Americans love to smile at strangers.
I got a lot of smiles today and this past week.
From who?
Downstairs when I got to the pool.
What are their names?
Everyone.
Are they bigger than me?
Oh my God. Every time that I was going to sit or find a space, they would smile at me. I would smile back. But it's like, hi, you know?
Yeah, it's just a very customary thing to do in the US that if you're walking past someone, you kind of look at them, they look at you, and then you both smile.
Yeah. I don't know. I can be wrong, but I think that Cariocas do that a lot. I can't speak for another region, but
Yeah,
I smile at people. I don't have a problem with that.
I definitely noticed it less in Rio than I do in the US, but that is not to say that Cariocas are walking around with like mean faces all the time.
At Poços, people do that more.
Yeah, I think in small cities it's more
Yes.
common.
Yeah,
Yeah.
small cities, people have time to smile at each other.
Yeah, not in a hurry all the
Yeah.
time. Cool. All right, Alexia. So this is just part one. We have a lot more weird things that Americans do coming your way in the next couple of days.
Perfect.
Cool. So I'll talk to you soon.
Muito obrigada por ter escutado mais um episódio aqui do nosso Inglês no Micro Rádio. Quando eu falo nosso, eu realmente quero dizer eu, Foster e vocês, né? A gente faz isso tudo pensando em vocês. E, além disso, nós temos produtos feitos para vocês lá no nosso site inglesdenecru.com. E lá você vai poder ver os challenges, né? Nós temos um challenge novo a cada mês. Quando que Sound School vai abrir de novo? O que nós estamos planejando para esse mês? Tudo isso você pode acessar lá no inglesdenecru.com. Vale muito a pena. Nós temos muito orgulho do novo site. Tudo está funcionando direitinho, então vá lá, deixa seu e-mail para você saber as nossas novidades, o que a gente está criando desse lado. Então é isso. Dei meu recadinho de final de episódio. Espero te ver no próximo. Então é isso, hein? Bye!